Reading Country Club describes itself as the perfect balance between modern facilities and traditional values. It was the venue for the latest event on the Big Easy IGT Challenge Tour.
This club established basically from 1943. We're just over 75 years old. We started off with just over 40,000 trees on this beautiful landscape course, and we had just over 42 bunkers installed at that time. We are so fortunate being in the top 100 again this year that Reading can host this IGT tournament. We were lacking some of this exposure in the past, and we have done a lot over the last couple of years to improve the facilities at the club with warm-up facilities and additional other stuff on the course to make it easier and more accessible for our pro golfers to come and enjoy this landscape course.
Water features on 10 of the 18 holes of the par 71 course, but it's the tight tree-lined nature which defines its character.
Tricky little course, not very long but tight. You got to hit it in your spots off the tee, got to keep yourself in position. These greens are probably the best greens I've putted on the whole year. Greens are unbelievable. Starting to get nice and green the course. Summer's coming. Yeah, very nice course. I enjoyed being here this week.
Dylan certainly enjoyed himself shooting a first round 64, and we'll be hearing more from him a little later in the show. He led after the opening day of the 11th event in the Big Easy season, though the course proved less to his liking as the week went on. Still in 6th place going into the third and final day, he was maintaining a challenging position, and quite a few would have fancied their chances. Hayden Griffiths had shot a 64 of his own to lead into the last round, though he eventually finished tied third. It's his second top 10 of the campaign. Hendrikus Sturp had twice been a runner-up this season. He would go close again, likewise 7 under for third spot. Michael Koch would shoot to prominence. 6 birdies in a 66 meant the lowest round of the last day. Third for him, a season and career best. Matt Bright has become a familiar figure on leaderboards this year after his back-to-back wins at Killarney and Centurion. Having shot a second round 66, he looked to be closing in on a hat-trick of victories. But a closing 70 saw him to second position. Sunshine Tour playing rights assured. Albert Fenter shot 66 on day one. He added a 69 and was tied in third place into the final circuit at Reading. The 22-year-old from Pretoria was only playing a 4th Big Easy event of the season, as he's been contesting 13 events on the Alps Tour. Still, he'd managed a top 10 at Rand Park this term, and it was no surprise to see the former top amateur in the reckoning. A closing 67, including an eagle and 4 birdies, 11 under par. And it earns him a maiden professional victory.
Considering I've been playing most of my golf over in Europe for the last 2 or 3 months, coming back to South Africa and playing on the Big Easy Tour, I would imagine that this win can do quite a bit for me. You know, I haven't really gained much spots on the order of merit, so I think this win will probably get me into second stage for Sunshine Tour school. You know, so that was obviously a goal of mine to work for, and I'm so pleased for that.
Albert Fenter's heading for Europe for the Alps Grand Final, but he will be back, aiming to climb from 16th into the all-important top 10 of the Order of Merit. The result at Reading means Matt Bright has now been promoted to the head of proceedings. Off to Benoni next, and there are 4 events to play before we conclude with the Big Easy Tour Championship at Centurion.